This is One on One. We are pleased to welcome Jennifer McLean. She's Chief Operating Officer of City Harvest. Good to see you.
Hi, good to see you guys also.
Tell everyone what City Harvest is.
City Harvest is a food rescue. So our job is really finding food that would otherwise go to waste in the city and beyond the city and getting it on people's plates of people in need in New York City.
How bad is the problem? We've interviewed some of your counterparts on the Jersey side of the river, and they talked to us about how serious it is. How many people are, quote unquote, food insecure?
Yeah, 1.2 million New Yorkers are food insecure, and that just means I'm not actually sure I'm going to be able to feed my family this week, myself this week. I'm worried about having enough food.
How many of them are children?
There's about 400,000 that are kids.
What?
Yeah. Food insecure. So a lot of these households in New York City, it's really an issue of not having enough money to make ends meet. If you think about food, food is an elastic expense. So if you have to pay your rent, you have to pay medical bills, you got to pay transportation, daycare, whatever your challenges and your payments are, food is elastic. So if you're able to hold back for yourself or skip meals, you know, your kids are getting fed at school, which is great in New York City and other cities. But if you have to hold back, you can hold back a little bit on food. You can skip meals. A lot of parents will skip meals themselves to make sure the kids have food. So we want to alleviate that. So we're saying there's all this extra food in New York City, in the country. How do we redirect that with logistics, trucking? So we provide that service, pick up that food and make sure it gets on people's plates tonight, usually.
So we put up the website right now.
Yeah.
Here's my question. Jennifer, how can people help?
There's lots of ways they can help. First off, just understanding what is hunger. I think people have a perception of what hunger looks like in their city. It's people that are working, it's people that are holding down a few jobs. It's the hardest working people because they're trying to make it all work for themselves and their family. So understanding and having empathy for the people around them that might not be making enough money to feed themselves and their family. You know, donating to places like City Harvest and whatever's in your community that's working for the cause of feeding people. Food is a right. You can't live without it. And then policies. If you can chime in and help an administration not cut the SNAP program, which is formerly food stamps. You know,
Whoa, back up.
Yep.
Talking about federal policies.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
So help us understand, people hear the SNAP program, which stands for?
It's the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, formerly food stamps.
A federal program.
Yes.
The Trump administration, what is their policy vis-a-vis the SNAP program?
Yeah, so they're working to reduce the spend in the SNAP program, trying to take away inefficiencies. What we see is that the SNAP program already is tight, and if you take food out of people's mouths, it's like, why would you cut in that spot? You know, the SNAP program provides just enough for people to get food on their tables for themselves and their family. And so a cut where, say, if they might feel, the administration might feel, you know, if you're able-bodied, you should definitely be able to find a job. But what we don't, when I said earlier, the empathy, having empathy for people that are in these situations, maybe there's a disability and the reason they can't get to work. Maybe there's, they're having another challenge, an illness that you don't know about, or a job that's not giving them the hours. So people are trying to piece this stuff together in their lives, and why take food away? It's you can't live without it. And so in our minds, we want SNAP, the Supplemental Nutrition Assistance Program, rides alongside what places like City Harvest do to provide more meals. You take that food stamp and you go to the grocery store, and now you're providing for your family on top of our free food that we distribute.
So, Jennifer, do this for us. We do a lot of programming around healthcare, health-related issues. And there are people in hospital community, healthcare community, that often talk about hunger / poverty as a, you know where I'm going, a social determinant of health. Take it away from the jargon and make it real.
Sure. So if you imagine you get your food stamp dollars early in the month. As the month wears on, you're running out of dollars for the grocery store. So you're going to food pantries and soup kitchens to make sure you can feed your family. When people are in high need and they start supplementing, not having enough food, people with diabetes or other issues skyrocket. So emergency rooms say that they see a skyrocket at the end of the month when people are running out of their SNAP dollars and they're running out of food, and so you're supplementing with whatever you can make work. And because the up and down for people drives them, if you're already dealing with diabetes or health issues, at the end of the month, when your dollars run out, you're heading to the hospital, to the ER. And it's known all over the country that that's happening in ERs. And what we're really working with hospitals is to start doing food security screenings.
Food security
Screening. So you might, if you're a patient at your doctor's office or at your hospital, you're asking, have you had to skip a meal this week or this month? Are you worried about providing? And so you ask some questions.
Right.
And if people are saying, yeah, that's me, they can help direct them. Here's a food pantry. What's your zip code? Let's get you to where you can get a food pantry. You can get free food in your area. And City Harvest, we focus a lot on fresh produce. So we want healthy food for people. If you're going to be, already struggling to feed your family, let's get you a lot of fresh produce so you can feed your family in a healthy way.
You mentioned empathy.
Mm-hmm.
I think about this concept and the reality of empathy a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not going to get into a philosophical conversation with you, but I am curious.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think most people watching this right now, listening to you talk about food insecurity, hunger, its connection to people's health, the quality of their life, do you think the vast majority of people are asking themselves, how can I help? That's not me,
Yes.
but I want to empathize with others. Or, not that you have a scientific survey for this, but the vast majority of people are saying, it's kind of too bad, but it's not me. It's kind of tough. I got to hang on to what I got to have. I don't even have that much myself.
My experience, I've been in City Harvest 20 years, and I've been in New York now 22 years. For here in this city, I can speak here, and also, other places around the country I've experienced, people want to help. They don't.
People want to help.
They definitely want to help.
Even if they're
sure.
struggling a bit on their own.
Some of our biggest food drive schools are in the poorest neighborhoods in New York City.
What?
Yes, because they've been there, they get it. So if I have, I'm going to give, and if I don't have, people have donated to City Harvest, given a check to us and said, I'm giving you a check this month. Last year I needed your services, and I'm so glad I don't now. Whatever, $20 checks, $15 checks. So I do think the empathy is there. I just don't think people know. I think people might think it's homeless. It's what I see on the street, and that is for sure. But 1.2 million, there's not 1.2 million homeless in New York City.
Yeah.
They're like 60,000. So 1.2 million, those are people that have jobs that are working, that may be sharing housing with somebody, maybe 4 people, 5 different families in a house.
Right. And by the way, that's why going to your website, Jennifer, matters, because they can do something. You navigate, help them navigate, right?
Yes, help them find food right now in the city. So if you need food, you can go to our website and you can log on, and we have a link that takes you right to the food map in New York City where you can find a pantry or a kitchen, sign up for SNAP benefits.
And also, if they want to help, they can contribute.
Yeah.
They can
volunteer.
They can.
They can contribute money. They can run a food drive, and they can chime in on policy stuff with City Harvest.
Jennifer McLean is Chief Operating Officer at City Harvest. Been around for how long?
1982.
It's a great organization doing important
Thank you so
work.
much.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Stay right there. Don't go anywhere.
Okay.
This is One-on-One. I'm Steve Adubato. This is the Tisch WNET studio right here in Lincoln Center. Catch you next time.
One-on-One with Steve Adubato has been a production of the Caucus Educational Corporation. This special edition of One-on-One with Steve Adubato is brought to you from the Tisch WNET studios at Lincoln Center. Funding has been provided by Holy Name Medical Center, the Russell Berry Foundation, New Jersey Sharing Network, New Jersey Resources, Delta Dental of New Jersey, United Airlines, Adler Aphasia Center, and by Berkeley College. Promotional support provided by the New Jersey Business and Industry Association and by New Jersey Monthly. Transportation provided by Airbrook Limousine, serving the metropolitan New York, New Jersey area.